Hello, happy Sunday to you. As you can tell from the title, this is take two, if you can see that. So I'm Gwen Dixon from Living Your Best Life Coaching. I teach you how to connect with your unseen teams, how to connect with your own very unique and individual ways of receiving guidance, how to recognize and discern your own magical ways of connecting with your unseen team. And the intention tonight, with tonight's love stream, tonight's Sunday service, is to have a little bit of a play, have a little bit of an experience of how we can do that, how you can discern and check in with what your natural ways of receiving are, and then get some guidance, some cards for the collective. And I would love it if some people could come and join me live so that we can play live and we can test this out. However, I got a bit too carried away in the first one, and I've managed to take myself off the screen by doing that. So I'm not sure whether I should try that again. Let's just try one. Right, there we go. Right. Let's send that out into the ether. I'm going to switch the light on as well. It's getting a little bit dark. It's dark and rainy here in central Scotland. So, like I say, whether it's just me here showing you what to do and me and my team, and we'll get going and we'll see who can join us. And if it is, then it might be short and we'll just do some cards for the collective. And I can always go and jump into the Facebook group as well. However, we're experimenting, we're exploring, we're playing, like you say, and we're having fun because, often when we want to connect with our spiritual teams, with our higher self, with our angels, our guides, all of these things, we put them on a pedestal, we make it very serious. We make it very, and sometimes we make that difficult for ourselves because we get this kind of like, oh, I really want to do this kind of vibe. And we get that, a bit of anxiety. We kind of add our obviously we have those desires to connect, but when we really, really want something, sometimes we can add that kind of resistance to it unknowingly, unwittingly. So, and I'm going to try and tag one more person just because why not? Got a couple of, I don't know how quickly people will see these, of course, but there we go. So, helps if I press the button to do that as well. So I'm learning, I'm exploring, I'm playing. And this is the energy that we want to have when we connect with our guides, because I say normally, if you think about, if you pray, for example, how often do we actually pray in a playful mode or just go, right, let's have some fun with this? We tend to go, we wait until the chips are down, if you like. We wait until things are really bad, and then we're like, oh, please help me. I really, really need you to help me. But again, we've got that angst, we've got that anxiety, we've maybe got some low vibration emotions going on because we're upset. And that all, not clouds airwaves, that's not really quite the right term, it distorts the signal, let's just say. So we want to be in a really high vibration, and it doesn't mean to say that everything's got to be perfect and we've got to be on top of the world before you can ever connect, because that you can receive, that you get signs and synchronicities all the time. So, we have natural abilities. What we want to do here and what we're practicing here and having a little play with is the ability to turn up the dial, to sort of tune into our antenna and to tune into and recognize our own individual ways, the ways that are most innate to you and natural to you that you already use. So perhaps obviously there's, you'll have heard the terms, clairaudience, clairvoyance, cognizance, if I could say that, clairsentience. And I feel like there's one more and I can't even remember what it is right now. But, you know, I talk about hearing, seeing, feeling, sensing, and knowing. And if you're knowing led, then that is the most magical, but it's also the most frustrating. Give me a yes for that, because we know things like we just know them. We feel them in our bones, like we just know, and it's very non-conscious. It's very subconscious. And we try to work it out with our conscious mind, our you know, logical mind. But this is non-linear. It's as I say, it's unconscious. It's subconscious. It's not something that you can naturally, or you can do it naturally, but because it's natural and innate to us, we tend to doubt it. We tend to sorry, my mind has gone blank. Like trying to find the words, trying to seek the words. We tend to get in our own way is the best way to put that. So what we want to do to avoid that and to have fun with it is to play and get more lighthearted and be more open-minded about it, more what if, more curiosity, more, well, wouldn't it be magical, or wouldn't it be amazing if, wouldn't it be fun if, wouldn't it be fun if somebody came and joined me live and can help me, sorry, I've got something in my eye now, can help me demonstrate this live. But anyway, my team are playing with me today, I have to say, because I've been playing with my technology all day, and making things a bit tricky for me. But obviously it's something that we've got to learn together. We've got to do. I'll give a big yes for that. Practically dived through the screen there. So we're practicing patience as well, and we're just recognizing it's all part of the game. It's all part of the game of life, and it's all part of the fun. So without further ado, let's do this. We're going to just do like, whether or not there's people here live, you will be able to watch this afterwards. And I may even, as I say, go and do another experience elsewhere where I can, I know that I can bring people on. So let's just give it a go, and let's just trust. Because I have been receiving lots of information today in playful ways. And so that's what I started to say. Sorry, before I go into the experience, let's just teach you a little bit about this. So we're talking about hearing, seeing, feeling, sensing, and knowing. Now, hearing doesn't necessarily mean that you're hearing words or a voice, or like that the clouds part and you know you're hearing voices like Moses on the mountain or whatever like that. You might do, and if you do, you know, let me know how that works. I have very rarely, I've been doing this job or this work, not necessarily this job. I've been learning to connect and doing this work for over 10 years for myself personally, before I started you know, doing this sort of thing over the last 5 years or so, before I started doing it formally as a job. And you know, I very rarely have actually heard a voice, if you like, or heard something in that way. But I hear a lot of guidance because I hear through media, I hear through, and it sounds daft to say I hear through the radio or the TV, but certain things. So I might pick up on things through radio, through TV, through podcasts, through audiobooks, all these sort of things. Give me a yes for that. But sometimes things, and I hear through my own voice. I feel like you can see when I'm talking about something, and then I'll say something out loud, I'll express it out loud, and then I'll get that bodily yes. And as I say, you'll have seen sometimes, and you might never have seen me before, and you've just found me now, but you'll see sometimes when it's that real bodily yes. It's, you know, you might be aware of the sway test or kinesiology. And again, as I said, the sway test, they're really demonstrating it powerfully, that I sway towards, you know, I sway forwards, I sway towards the phone or the screen or what have you. And sometimes I know can be harder to discern, but I get that, yes. Other times I could be talking about something, I might be leaving a voice note, making a phone call, making a video or something like that, speaking to a client, having a conversation, and I could just be talking to myself, talking to my team, and I'll have tears. And I recognize now those are what I call the truth tears. So if you're very feeling led, very emotional, if, you know, in your human design, for example, if you know what your human design is, I'm not going to try to explain that because that's not my zone of genius, but I am emotional led. I'm led by, you know, my emotions, by my truth, etc. And so those truth tears and that when I hit that kind of well of emotion, or that seam of emotion, if you like, the gold mine, then I'll say, all right, I've hit on something here. So I often journal by voice noting, because I've really discovered the power of that. And that's how I get out of my own mind and get out of my own way, is sometimes when I'm getting a little stuck on something, or when I'm trying to receive and I want to do it for myself. Because we can do it easily. I'm saying we often can receive easily for other people, or we can get a sense of knowing, and we'll go, oh, blah, 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 and just know, because we've got no attachment to it. So we can easily say, right, this is what this, we're not necessarily interpreting it, but we're just receiving and saying, well, I've got this, and then you do with it what you will, kind of thing. And we're able to do that with no, we've got that objectivity, because we're not attached to it. It's not about us. So when we want to get something for ourselves, we want to receive guidance for ourselves, we do innately do it in our unique ways and individual ways, but also we can find it that we doubt ourselves, so we get in our own way, we get in our heads about it, and then we sort of go, well, I'm just making that up, or that can't be right, or we talk ourselves out of it, and we try to apply the logic to it, rather than just taking the message, taking the information, and trusting that the information that you're given might not make sense at the time. As I say, those of you who have worked with me before know that the more random the thing is, or the more kind of unlikely, then the more true it is likely to be. So we're talking about also seeing, and again, you might be able to visualize things, you might not, you might struggle to visualize things. I actually saw something earlier on today where someone visualizes words rather than a thing. So someone described, like they said, pink elephants to her, and rather than see a bright pink elephant, she then starts thinking in words to describe what the pink elephant looks like. So it's really interesting how our own ways of being, our innate ways of being, are individual to us and unique to us. And because they're so sort of natural to us, sometimes we just go, well, isn't everybody like that? Or isn't that how we all do it? Or we think that, how it should be is how we've heard about it from someone else. We think, oh, that's how it should be for me. And if mine isn't like that, then we dismiss it. Oh, I must be doing it wrong, or I'm not able to do this. Whereas actually we're all able to receive. So like I say, you can, if you're hearing led, you might hear through music. You might feel as if you've got a song playing in your head on repeat and think, why will that song not leave me alone? I get my big yes for that. And it's because there's a message in that song for you. There's a message in those lyrics, or from the artist, or there's some sort of connection there. Or it could be it's a song that one of your loved ones who's just passed over wants you to receive. They want to send that song to you for you to get that message from them, to tell you that you are so very loved, and they want to get that message through to you. So that's how your particular love stream comes through to you, if you like. I've got an itchy nose now, and often that means there's somebody watching who's getting a new guide, and there's nobody watching right now. But if you're watching on replay, and as I'm saying this is like ringing bells for you, or you're like, oh, that's happened to me recently, then just notice that give me a yes. This is so interesting. But again, it's that playfulness. It's that, okay, let's see what's going to happen here. So this usually happens when there's actually people with me, because of the nature of this. You'll receive this afterwards, and you'll tell me, you'll put in the comments, or you'll message me or whatever and say, oh, that was for me. So, that's fun, that's playful, isn't it? So they really keep itching my nose now. So I don't know whether it's more than one person. And I'm not like Samantha, or Sabrina or Samantha, the one who used to wiggle her nose, can't remember. I'm not like, I can't do that, but they do make me itch my nose. So, and now I'm placing my hand on my throat, which is a sign to trust ourselves. What have we been talking about? We've talked about hearing. We've talked a little bit about seeing. So seeing doesn't mean to say that you're going to see Granny at the end of your bed or what have you. It might mean that you see something, like you're reading a book and somehow the words jump out to you. Excuse me, that's a big yes. It might be that you see an advert on the TV, or in a magazine, or a newspaper, or on a billboard or something like that, and you might have driven past it loads of times, or you drive past a sign or a street name that you've walked past umpteen times or driven past, and somehow this day it jumps out to you in a different way, or you take something out of the cupboard and the ingredients jump out, or the name. I mean, I had it last week. I talked about it last week on here, but I was getting signs, and it was like the things in my bathroom cabinet were showing me that there were feathers, and so it's things like that you just suddenly see something in a different way, in the same way that you can hear something in a different way. So as I say, you might be listening to the radio or listening to a song that you've heard umpteen times before, and somehow the lyrics hit different, and that can bring those emotions. Or it can, like when you're watching a movie and all of a sudden it's as if or you listen to a song rather, and it's like playing a movie. It's like you've taken yourself into a movie scene of your life that you can remember. Oh, I was in that nightclub with this bunch of friends, or this boyfriend or girlfriend, or that was where I met my husband, or whatever it was. We were on holiday, and I know exactly what happened, even though it was 30 years ago or what have you. Excuse me, itching my nose, but it's a good sign. So there's those things where you just get taken. It's like being in a TARDIS in a time capsule, and you just get instantly. And it's not just nostalgia. It is like there's something there in that memory that they want to bring you. So that's why you're getting the signs and the symbols, and the photographs, or the things that remind you of that. It suddenly comes into your mind. That's not just coincidence. That's a way of receiving as well. And again, if you're feeling knowing led, you might get feelings in your body. You might have physical ways that you receive as well. And especially if you're used to picking up on other people's emotions as well, then you can suddenly feel like an ache or pain that you haven't had before. And actually, it could be someone else that's around you, that are with you, that you're sort of sharing their energy. So there's all sorts of different ways, and I'm sure I want to share some more. However, let's just have a little experiment, a little explore, a little play with this. And how can I do this that will work for you guys afterwards? And I guess I don't need to think about it. I just need to do it and trust. And so I wanted to see if you could get your own messages in terms of the cards that we're going to get. So I am going to use some, as I've got a few decks here, but I'm just going to use some the Secret Language of Colour, and I've also got Spirit Animal deck. So, and I've got one more that might be a bit of a wild card. So nose is really itching now. So I guess they're telling me that this is a good thing to do as well, to practice. So just closing your eyes. Whenever you're seeing this, just trust that this is meant for you, and this is meant to enhance and advance your ways of receiving, your ways of understanding, and recognizing that your own way is perfect for you. And you get to discern what is your yes, what is your no. You get to discern, am I hearing, seeing, feeling, sensing, knowing? And you'll sense what your message is before I do the cards for the collective. So you might get a sense of a colour, an image, a sound, or something else, and it links to the message. So let's just play with that. So we're setting the intention. And we're going to connect in with our non-conscious gateway, because as I said, the ways that we receive is best if we get out of our head, get into our heart, and also tap into our inner being. We reconnect in with our soul energy, our hope vortex. It's at your solar plexus. So for the ladies watching, it's under our bra strap. For the men watching, it's under your pecs. So just above the belly button. And imagining here that you're tapping into that warmth. And also imagining that you're seeing or hearing or feeling or sensing or connecting with something that you love, that brings you joy, that makes your face light up, with love and joy and brings a big smile to your face and maybe a sparkle to your eyes, and that thing or that person or just that thought that just you absolutely love. And every time, it might be a pet, it might be a baby, a child, something else that just you feel so grateful for, and you feel love instantly, unconditional love like they have for you. So if it's a pet or someone else, you can imagine them looking into your eyes and just sharing that love with you unconditionally, beautifully, easily. And if that's hard for you at all, think of a loved one who you still remember fondly, whether they're here now in physical or in non physical. And feel that love that they had for you, and you can still feel that eternal connection. And I'm getting a yes for that. For some of you, that's easy to do. And again, that might be bringing up emotions and sensations, and that's all good. It's truth. It's that perpetual love, it's that eternal connection. And as you bring that to mind, I want you now just to dial up the love. And so you might feel something in your love vortex, in your heart center. And just feel that expand. And as that naturally expands, I want you to emit that, to exude that, to send that out. So imagine that you are a radio transmitter or an antenna, something else like you know, a TV mast or like the old RKO. For some of you that are old enough to remember the old RKO signal, like the big, like a pylon or something like that, where you can see the energy, the electricity coming out of this. You can see the radio waves or the sound waves. And let's imagine the sound waves are like a rainbow, like a spectrum of energy, like all the colours, they're crystalline waves. So you can actually see them as well. So almost like a bolt of lightning or something else that would light up the sky. And you would see it, hear it, feel it, sense it, know it, because when there's thunder and lightning, there's no escaping that. There's no mistaking that. And so you can feel and sense the immense power of it, and you can see it and you can hear it, and it's crashing and flashing and all of that. So that's like a cacophony of colour, light, and sound lighting up the sky. And perhaps it's now like the northern lights, and the sky is lit up blue and green, or like a dark night sky where the stars are like shining like diamonds. They're so bright and they can light up the night. So, whatever it is for you, just imagining that you are that lighthouse, you are that beacon, you are that powerful, and it's safe for you to be powerful. And you are being guided by heaven, by source, by God, by oneness, by all that is. You are part of all that is, and all that is part of you, is always connected with you. And that love, that eternal love, when you turn that up bright, when you dial that up, then they can easily share those radio waves and thought waves with you. And whether you hear, see, feel, sense, or know, you'll start to discern that even more. You'll start to connect with that even more. You'll start to enhance and enliven your abilities. And so as you do that and connect with that and feel the certainty of that and get your particular way of getting a yes for that, And just to double check it, then out loud or in your mind, say my name is. So for me, it would be my name is Gwen, and I get a yes for that. And if I was to say my name is Suzanne, then there's nothing you can say. There's no movement. There's no forward movement. It's neutral. Yeah, it's the total opposite. And you might be different. So don't worry if you go backwards for a yes or forwards for a no, whatever, that you'll find your own way and you'll recognize it as you play. And so now that we've done that, and we've turned up that dial, we've turned up our transmitter, and we're emitting, we're exuding, and we're sending that love out. We've dialed up the love and we're sending those thought waves, those brain waves, those magical streams, we've dialed into our stream. We've dialed into our frequency and our wavelength, our unique frequency that we emit to the universe and on which it can converse with us. So now that we've done that, I'd like you to imagine or to see, hear, feel, sense, or know, and ask for a sign, ask for a signal, and ask for it to be really clear, and notice what you hear, see, feel, sense, or know here. Is there a colour? And I've got a yes that we've got that. And is there a shape or a symbol? Okay, we've got that. And again, some of you might get some of these and not others, and don't worry about it. Is there a sound? And the sound might be a name, it might be a song lyric, it might be just a couple of notes, it could be something else. Some of you, it might be almost like picking up a shell and hearing the sounds of the sea. Or maybe you're hearing bird song and it's almost like it's been dialed up or something else. And if it's none of those, is there a sense of knowing that's flowing? And again, you might feel as if you're not getting anything right now. And that's the most magical. So trust that by us setting this intention, by you finding this love stream, this connection with my unseen team and with your unseen team, that you are going to connect with this and recognize how you receive your guidance now. So with that, we're going to leave that there, and I'm going to pull a couple of cards for the collective. And we'll see, as we say, we'll be selective. We'll see whether the colour relates to what you got, what you saw. We are going to pull an animal as well, because some of you might have got an animal. And we might do one more. So let's just see what I get guided to do. Okay, right, okay. Hello, let's say somebody's watching. So let me know in the comments who it is. We've just finished doing a practice, and I asked to get a colour, and we've got half a dozen here. In fact, I've got more than that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, okay, this is perfect. So and I'll do them in the order in which they came out. So as I say, if you are watching live and you can stay with me, then I'd love you to let me know. And if you can watch later, if you're watching this on replay, then let me know what you got. And also, and I'd love you to do it at this point. So what time we're on? We're just 30 minutes in, so half an hour in. So I'd love you to put it at this point, what you saw, what you know, did you see something, hear something, feel something? No. And did you get a colour or something else? Because as I say, I've got 7 colours here, and I would really love to see before we do this whether you get the what you get and how that connects with this. So we'll see whether this works. It's an experiment. So now I should have also brought my angel numbers book, and I've forgotten to get it. So I can add those in later on. So the first colour that we got is peach. So some of you might have actually got, so looking at this card, some of you might have got that kind of colour, but you might have also seen like a peach, or you might have smelled the fragrance of a peach. I'm getting a yes for that. Or you might have suddenly felt like, oh, I really fancy a peach now, So just notice whether any of those things happened for you, and I'm getting a yes for that. And it says, inhale a breath of life. And it's number 19. And I do happen to know that number 19 is about being, that it's safe to be powerful, because that's been the message that I've had today and I've had recently. And also that it's time to cross a threshold. There's a particular message around that. So inhale a breath of life. So as you inhale that breath of life and you connect with the sweetness of life through this peach, so almost like if you could imagine biting into that juicy peach, and for those of you who are very sensory, then you'll be able to almost feel like, oh, I can feel my mouth watering at the thought of this juicy peach. Or you might be able to smell it, or you might be able to pick up on the feel of the peach skin. So notice all these things, if any of these things are really standing out for you. And my hands are kind of tingling as I'm saying that now. So inhale that breath of life and notice. And do you feel like you can smell? You see, hear, touch, feel, smell, taste, all of these things. These are all your senses. So I help you to dial up your sensational gifts and recognize that you tap in with all your senses. So I love that message for you. So that's number 1. Number 2, the second one that came out. So we're getting kind of the colours of the rainbow here. Magenta. And the magenta card is the number 5. And 5 is the number of change. So again, time to cross that threshold, time to change things up from the way you usually do them. And it says, connect to your deepest inner knowing. And with this card, we've got the beautiful petals, all the detail of the inside of this flower. We're going deep into the inside of the flower here. So as we've said already, if knowing is your truest, most innate sense, then you will, that's the most magical one. That's sometimes the one that you dismiss because, you think, oh, well, how did I know that? How I must have made that up, or I must have seen that somewhere, or heard it somewhere, or, we'll start to try and logify it, sort of thing. But if you think about it, when you wake up from a dream, you often have a knowing within the dream. And then sometimes when we wake up and we bring our conscious mind into the equation, we're like, oh, well, that was just a load of nonsense or whatever. But in the dream, it makes total sense. Or if you can connect with the dream, if you can write it down as soon as you wake up, you can connect with the knowing, you can connect. And even if it doesn't seem to make sense, but you just know, oh, that was a sense of so-and-so was there. Or, when you go into a dream and you go, well, it was me, but not me. Or it was my dad, but he didn't look like my dad, but you knew it was that person, that kind of thing. Or I knew I was in this place, although it looked nothing like it, but I knew it was my old primary school, or, whatever it was. So that sense of knowing, where there is a knowing, and you could, you could tell someone else, or you're telling yourself, and then, you know, you talk yourself out of it. Sometimes it's what we do. So it's like connecting with that knowing and just going with it, and connecting with that gut feeling, and knowing actually this is true, and feeling the truth of it, feeling the rightness of it, and feeling the depth of it, and the, yeah, just the solidity, just the certainty of it. So if knowing is um your strongest sense, then you'll be connecting with that now, and this will be making sense for you. And so maybe you got the sense of the pink, or maybe you saw a pink flower or something else. So it's an experiment. It's yeah, it's a bit of a scientific experiment. And so number three, message number three is about being persistent. And this is 27, which is my door number. And suppose a 2 and a 7 add up to a 9. I'm not sure exactly what 27 means in the angel numbers, but 2 and a 7 add up to a 9, and 9s are about beginnings and endings as well. And it's being persistent, and it's being, so if at first you don't succeed, try again, kind of thing. You know, if you feel like, oh, I'm not sure that I got something there, or I had a sense of it, a snippet, and then it, you know, I felt as if it disappeared. Like when you wake up from a dream and you think, oh, I've got it, and then, you know, it's gone. It's like floated away into the ether. Be persistent. Try again tomorrow. Write down your dreams tomorrow. Journal about your dreams tomorrow, and do it every day for a week or for a certain length of time. And gradually, more detail will become clear, because you can see on that image that it's like some of it's a bit hazy, but then some of it is really, really clear and is starting to come into focus. So the more you are persistent and the more you focus on practicing this, the more detail that you'll be able to get. And that's the sort of transition into you starting to tune into your senses. Card number 4 is green. And actually it's 31, which again adds up to a 4 in numerology. And 4s are about stability and structure and solidity. And it's revitalize your nervous system. So for some of you, when we did that practice there just now, and again they give me a yes for this, you might have sensed yourself being in nature. You might have felt the greenery, or felt or smelt, or felt as if you wanted to go for a walk outside, or that you felt as if you were outside, and you just felt that peace that comes with being in nature. You might have just felt that innate peace kind of wash over you, and revitalize your nervous system. And whether you've just found this now, and you think, oh, I've got to go back and watch that, but then just recognizing and feeling that innate peace, that sense of peace that washes over you when you connect in with your love vortex, your heart vortex, and you connect in with that sense of your inner being. It's that peace of coming home, like, oh, I've come home to me. This is who I was always meant to be. And you'll sense that and you'll feel that. And this is your innate nature. This is you know, your soul essence. And you connect to that most in nature, in the walking in a forest or walking by water or something like that. Whatever nature recharges you, and if you think about green and blue and all these things, that they're hospitals and therapy rooms, all these things are painted these colors for a reason, because they are calming to the nervous system. So, and if you feel that you connect within nature and you maybe heard the sounds of the birds or something like that, again, that's your innate senses, your innate abilities, and that's where your abilities are heightened. So just recognizing that for you, and making sure that you take time to go out in nature, or to do the things that are calming and revitalizing to your nervous system, because the more that you can do that you can calm that and you can relax, then the more easily you will be able to connect as well, and you might be able to hear and see and feel and sense things more powerfully there as well. So that was for you. Connect to nature, revitalize your nervous system. And that's what brings you the power. That's what brings you the stability and the sense of oneness, being one with nature, being one with source, being one with something bigger than you. And then card number 5, which is also number 1 after me talking about being one with nature, is the rainbow, and that's about connecting to spirit and nature. So really, it's a continued message from the one that I've just shared there, and it is about connecting with the full spectrum of color, light, and sound that we connected with, and we sensed in that connection, the short practice that I spontaneously did there. So when this is your intrinsic to your way of being, that when you get out in nature, and again we've got the water in this one that we mentioned, so everyone has a natural element charge. So for some people it's going out and climbing a mountain, being up on some people like to hill walk, or they like to ramble in nature, or they might like to be beside the seaside, and that you feel like when you are beside the sea, or you're beside a body of water, that it's just like, oh, you can just feel that calmness wash over you. And so as I said in the thing, that some of you might have heard, almost like listening to a seashell, picking up a seashell and listening to the sound of the sea, and you would feel that calmness wash over you then, and that relaxation, and that's what helps you to tap into your innate nature, your oneness with spirit, your oneness with your guidance. You connect in with nature, and you often you might see a rainbow, and some of us will just see a rainbow and think, oh, that's a lovely rainbow, that's beautiful, something beautiful, nature, created by nature rather than man-made. And some of you will recognize, oh, hi Marie, it's lovely to see you, thanks for joining me. So we did a practice there to enhance our senses, and I got 7 cards. So we're talking about how we all have different ways of no problem at all, you're here now, so it's all perfect. So we're talking about ways of connecting in with spirit, ways of connecting in with our our natural element charge, and how we innately connect. So now so what I'm going to ask you to do, so I've got these 7 cards, and we'll read through them, and I'll not replay them, I'll repeat them for you. Also, what I'd love you to do, I've got 2 other decks here in front of me, so I'm going to ask you to discern. First of all, I'm going to ask you, there's two other cards here in front of me, and we're going to see whether you can get a colour from either of these, and then I'm going to ask you something about these other decks here, to see whether we can discern from that. So, and they give me a yes for that. So I'll check in with what the question is for these one in a second. So we've got the rainbow colours here. We've got this full spectrum of colour, light, and sound. So just tune into that for a second. Breathing in deeply and dropping out of your head, and dropping out of any busyness or any thoughts of, oh, I should have been here earlier, or anything like that. Connecting with your higher self, connecting with your team, connecting with the oneness, connecting with spirit, and connecting with that deep blue sea. And I'm getting a song now. I'm going to see whether you can get that song. And also, as you connect in with your deep sense of knowing, are you getting a colour now, or colours? And if so, what's the first colour that's coming to you? And I know you often get certain colours, but just check in. And it might be a hue that's familiar to you, but it might be a certain, you're an artist. You're like, if you think about the artist palette, it might be a different shade to usual. It might be a particular shade. So I'd just love you to let me know what that is. So, okay, so you're getting yellow. Now, yellow is what you usually get. So I'm going to say this is not what you usually get. So yes, connecting in with the yellow, connecting in with your hope vortex, where you connect in with your unconscious gateway. I've got two cards here, neither of which is yellow. So there's one in my right hand and one in my left hand. And which do you think? What colour do you innately know or do you pick up on with my right hand? And what colour do you get a sense of? It might be, again, not necessarily the exact colour, but it might be that you get kind of shades or the spectrum that these belong to. Like, so like the family of colours that these belong to. So there's right and there's left. And I'd like you to tell me what sense you get next and just play with it. Just see whether we get close, whether we get something. So while you do that, I'm going to get the next deck of cards. Don't overthink it. Just give me the first thing that you got after the yellow. And it can just be a word, a sense. Pink, purple came in and orange. Right, okay. That's interesting. So the first card that was in my right hand is cyan, and that's build your confidence. And usually you would get blue because you usually get the yellow and blue often, but then you got the pink, purple, and the other one's burgundy. And so, like, it's the red family. It's that deeper red. But also, if you mix blue and red, then you get purple. Give me a yes for that. So it's on that pink purple spectrum. Yeah, exactly. So, and there is a kind of orangey glow almost to that card, isn't there? Although it's like burgundy and the sort of deep red of the wine. So that's interesting, isn't it? So the cyan, the message is 35, build your confidence, as we say. So we're doing that. You're building your confidence and tuning into the messages and getting the colours that you get. So well done for that. And also it's 35. So I don't have my angel numbers booked to hand, but the 3 and the 5 add up to 8, which is that infinity, it's that harmony, it's that eternal connection that you're tapping into. And yeah, I love that. So, and it's like a lucky number as well, isn't it? Lucky number, an 8 for manifesting, and it's one of the biggest manifesting numbers. So well done for that. And so the last colour, colour number 7, card number 7, was the burgundy, and the burgundy is awaken your passion, and that's number 10, which again also goes back to a 1 in the numerology. So the connect to spirit and nature and being one with all that is kind of thing. So loving that. So and awaken your passion is very apt for you as well, because when we awaken our passions, when we tap into our passions, our abilities to whether it's music, art, or something else, that genius flow, then that's what helps us to connect with our abilities as well. So well done for that, and I'll share these cards afterwards, or share the messages afterwards. And the other deck that I've got here is, so there's 2 decks that I've got here. So there's Spirit Animals, and there's Crazy Sexy Love Notes. So tell me which one of these that you want to have a play with, and we'll do that just to finish off. And so, do we reckon we could get a an animal, or do you reckon that you could get, or you'd like to have a play with the crazy sexy love notes and see whether you can get a sign, see whether you can connect in with your sign from that. And it looks like there's a couple of other people joining us. So if you're joining us, let me know and we can get you a message too. You can have a wee play too. And we'll do some cards for the collective, but let me know that you're there so that you can join in and be part of the fun. And if you know, if you're just catching me now, you can go back and watch the replay and be part of the fun. You want to go with the love notes? Yeah, I was kind of getting that as well. So okay. So tune in then. And again, tuning into your heart center, your love vortex, and dialing that up. So within the previous practice, which you can go back and watch on replay and have a bit of a play with, just tuning into your love vortex and dialing up the love. So what we said was you were imagining something or someone or that we love, or like an animal, or like a pet or something like that. So whatever brings you an instant sense of love, of unconditional love. And we've got 3 cards here, which are all aligned with your senses, aligned with your abilities. So what I'm going to do, so there's 3 cards here, so I'm going to ask you with the first card, do you get a sense of, what do you get a sense of with this card? Do you get a picture, an image? And just, there might be a color, it might be an image, it might be something that's really kind of flashing into your senses. And then with the second card, there's I'm just watching for the comments here. So my dog popped into my head, haha, and warm calmness. Okay, cool. Okay. So was there anything else with any of these cards? Is there any other images that you've got? So there's 3 cards here, and there's different sort of standout symbol on each of them, if you like. So lovely that your dog popped into your head, because I know that you've had your dog before. So again, just that calmness. So tapping into that calmness. Can you give me a sense or an image or anything, any other sort of clear images that you've been given? So what is there, anything else that you see, or is there a colour? Is there a sense or an image? I'm trying not to give you too many clues here, but so even if you get one of them, let's just see. Or is there a number, like 1, 2, or 3, that's standing out to you the most? Or is there a sense that you got from them all? So just give me a word, or a word or a colour or anything. I'm holding my breath now. Is she still there? Light blues. Okay, lovely. Yes, there's light blue on all of them. So give me a 1, 2, or a 3. When you asked if one was pulling me more, 3. I got 3. 3. Okay, that makes sense then, because number 3 is listen. And I know you got when we got the Earth Warrior cards before. It was something to do with hearing, wasn't it? So hearing is one of your most innate senses. No, number 3. Sorry, that's okay. I couldn't quite see that there was something over the 3 sign, and it's actually saying that there's 3 people watching now. So whoever else is watching, say hello. Let me know in the comments. And there's 2 other cards here now. So this is Marie's card. So let me know in the comments and let me know a number between 1 and 2, and you'll get your cards. So yeah, your card is listen, and it says, are you talking more than you're listening? Do you finish people's sentences for them? Shh. True connection is about how we make people feel and whether or not we're being open and present. Life is communicating with you, dear one. An important message is trying to get through. Let go of your fear of not being heard. You'll get your chance. For now, just listen. So I love that. And actually, there's one more card here that was on the side that I hadn't noticed. So we'll do that as a card for the collective as well. So it looks like there's a couple of other people watching. I'm not seeing any other comments yet. So we're just going to, and it has the pink, purple, and the orange. It does, and it's got the light blue on it as well. So yeah, there's light blue on all the cards. We've got that orange sun, and yet we've got the pink as well. So yeah, really well done. So amazing, really big round of applause for you. So for anyone else who's watching, or anyone else who watches on replay, Marie, did you get any other signs or symbols that flashed into your head? So whilst you can tell me about that, I'm going to read out this other one that was on the side there. And it's embrace your sensitivity, because this is what we're asking people to do, is to embrace that sensitivity and to turn up the sensitivity, because it's our sensitivities that actually allow us to hear, see, feel, sense, and know, and to really tune into these messages for ourselves. So your sensitivity is the sacred gateway to your intuition. It's that special receptive radar. So that's what I've been talking about earlier on, turning up your radar, turning up your antennae. Your special receptive radar that picks up energy and signals. In fact, your sensitivity is one of your greatest assets and the key to your survival. The more you connect with it, the more miracles and synchronicities you'll attract. So that goes for everyone, and that's what so for anyone if you're tuning in now and you haven't caught the connection practice that I did at the beginning of this live, then you can go back and do that, and then see what you can tune into, see what you got, and put it in the replay and let me know in the comments, because you may well have got a sense of things like Marie did there. So the other 2 cards that came out, and again, if you've got any other images or senses, Marie, even if you want to put like an emoji in to tell me what those were, I'd love to know. So we got the It's Time to Rise card, which has got the heart balloon on it, and again it's got the pinks and the purples and the oranges and the light blue, and all of that, and it says, no matter what's happening in our lives, we always have the potential to rise above it. Rising is one powerful choice away. Rise out of our negative thoughts or our limiting beliefs. Rise out of our comfort zone or our complaints. Rise out of our slump or out of the potato chip bag. Get up and rise. What are you waiting for, darling? So, and that's what we're talking about earlier on. The best way that we can connect with our guidance and connect with our innate abilities is to raise our vibration. And also when we do that, and when you connect with your sensitivities and your hearing, and you dial these things up and you dial up those senses, then that's what helps you rise up out of the slump. It's what helps you rise up out of our day-to-day living. So we've got a yellow heart there. Thank you. And then, was there anything else? So when you connected with the dog and you felt that sense there, and you felt that love, was there anything else that you connected with in terms of a sign or a symbol or a sense that you got just before I turn over this one? And there is there's a broad message from it as well. And again, we've kind of got all the colours here that you mentioned. I'd just love to know, because there's one other like standout symbol on this card. So I'd just love to know if there was any other kind of, imagery that came to mind, or any other, an emoji that would sum that up. So, and I'm just going to pick up this card that went on the floor. Yeah. Which was the peach one. That was the first one that came out, actually. And the card, so whilst you're doing that, I'll recap the rest of the colours, because I'm just going to keep this one just to see whether you get anything else about that one. So the first colour that we got was peach, which was inhale a breath of life, and it was number 19, which is about it's safe to be powerful, and you're being guided by heaven to use your gifts, basically. And to connect in with your breath. It helps you to connect in with the oneness. And then magenta was card number 2. Where's magenta gone? Goodness, I've lost it now. Now they really are playing with me, because there was another card there. Oh, it's over here. I see where it is. Right. So magenta was the second one, which was number 5. Connect to your deepest inner knowing. And then we got silver, which is, and so 5 is obviously the number of change. Silver, be persistent, which is 27. So for me, 27 is my door number, and I've been getting door numbers all month. So it's about being persistent and allowing things to come into focus. Warm, fuzzy hugs and a sense of calm and being contented. Mobile phone text message popped in too. I think that's more me typing on here. Right, okay, well done. So the warm fuzzy hugs and the sense of calm and being contented, and the mobile phone is a good one. So we'll get to that in a second. So yeah, be persistent. You're doing really, really well. The next one was green. Connect with, revitalize your nervous system. So we're talking about connecting in nature. And it's the 31, which is a 4. So that's about stability and groundedness and structure, and recognizing that, connecting and revitalizing your nervous system is your structure, and connecting with greenness and nature, for example, or getting out and grounding yourself in nature. That all helps to soothe your nervous system and helps you to connect with those sensitivities. And then, like we say, when you came on, we had the connect with spirit and nature, the rainbow and connecting with the oneness. And then we had the cyan and the burgundy. And so, drum roll, the card I was asking you to tune into, and you did really, really well with that as well, was this one, ask for help. So of course you got the kind of warm, fuzzy hugs and the connectedness with the sense of calm, because it's like you've got your angel there, you've got the guidance, your member of the unseen team holding your hand, being connected with you and sending you messages and sending you guidance. So that's like the sense of the text message and the mobile phone. So really, really well done for that. So it says, are you constantly giving to others yet rarely receiving what you need? Then it's time to ask for help. You're not Superwoman, so there's no need to do it all yourself. You have an army of angels on speed dial. So there you go. That's the mobile phone sense. Give them a call. Communicate your needs and learn to receive, dear one. When we're open to the help that's all around us, the universe provides assistance. make sure to look for the signs. Once you ask for help, they'll start appearing. So that's perfect, because that's what we've been talking about, is like looking for the signs, asking for help, giving them a call, and then letting them help you. And I love that. I love the fact that it says, you know, that you have an army of angels on speed dial and you connected with a mobile phone text message. So really, really well done. So I did put you on the spot there, and I think there was 2 or 3 other people kind of joined and then went away, or might not have been able to comment. But they were probably like, "Oh my God, what is she going to what is she going to get me to do this?" So don't worry about it. You can catch up with the replay afterwards. You can have a play with this afterwards. You can watch the connection practice that we did at the beginning. You can watch that at your leisure, and then you can have a play with the messages and the colours and things before they come up. So, and you can just start. And obviously, if you're watching on replay, you get the answers anyway. But what you then do is you go into your day, into your week, and you say, right, okay, I'm going to ask for help. I'm going to speed dial my higher self and my unseen team. I'm going to go back to that practice. You might want to kind of bookmark it and go back to daily and try it. If this is for you or for anyone else who's watching on replay, try that daily. Do because it was like 5 minutes or so, I guess we did, maybe a little bit longer, but 5-10 minutes max. Definitely wouldn't have been 10 minutes. It was less than that. So dial up those senses and recognize that your team, your angels, your unseen team, they are on speed dial. And what they want you to do is to check in with and sense. You'll definitely watch the replay, of course. And then, give us a hashtag replay and let us know what you connected with on there. And same for anyone else who's watching the replay. Sense what your innate senses are. Is it seeing, hearing, feeling, sensing, knowing? Is it a combination of all? Is it a bit of that? Have a play with it and let me know. Give me a hashtag replay and let me know what you got, what you sensed, what you knew. Did you get a sense of the colours, or did you get something else, way before I got to those cards? And I'd love to know what it is. And as I say, all of them are a kind of cards for the collective, a reading for everyone who will watch this and who will find this afterwards, as well as those of you who sort of came on for a little while and then maybe weren't able to comment or weren't able to stay, but you'll get the message, you'll get the nudge from your team to go back and replay afterwards and go back and have a play with that. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for experimenting, playing with me. I will share the replay afterwards. Well, the replay will be immediately available afterwards, but I'll also share the replay in various different places so that it can find you, and you can ask for help from your teams. So, bit of fun tonight, like I promised. And we were a little bit late because the first one didn't quite work, so I had to come on and do a take 2. So I'm glad that me commenting managed to get to you as well, and you saw the notification and you responded to it. So very well done. So thank you. Have a wonderful week ahead and go and have fun playing with your teams, playing with your guides, and let me know through the week. Either give me a hashtag replay here or drop me a message, or however you want to get in touch. Then let me know. And if you had fun and if you really felt like you connected and you'd like to do more, then definitely get in touch and let me know. Ask how we can do that together and how we can play together and have a bit of an extended play session together and teach you how to do this too. All right, take care. Lots of love. Bye for now. You're welcome. Thanks for joining me. All right, take care. Bye. Lots of love.